Hello and welcome back to another beautiful day in Charleston. I'm Michaela, your native Charleston realtor, and today we're going to be exploring Mount Pleasant's oldest neighborhood, the Old Village. So the Old Village was actually founded back in the 18th century and has history dating all the way back to the Revolutionary War. The streets here are lined with centuries-old oak trees and beautifully preserved homes, and it truly is a perfect blend of having a glimpse into the past while embracing today's modern-day life. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's explore this beautiful waterfront community. So the Old Village is located in South Mount Pleasant, which if you'd like to see a breakdown of Mount Pleasant, I actually have a whole video explaining Mount Pleasant as a whole, so I will link that up above. But here is where the Old Village is in relation to downtown Charleston. It's only about a 15 to 20 minute drive, so not bad at all, which is a really big reason as to why the Old Village is so highly sought after. And not only that, it's close to two beaches. So we have Sullivan's Island being the closest, and then we also have the Isle of Palms really close to Sullivan's Island. They actually connect. Our first stop in the Old Village is going to be located at the end of Pitt Street, which is one of the oldest roads in Mount Pleasant. And this is Pickett Park, which is home to the Pitt Street Bridge. So here you'll find a lot of benches, picnic areas, and even plaques that'll tell you so many interesting things about the local wildlife and the history here at Pitt Street. This was formerly known as the Cove Inlet Bridge, and you can see so many breathtaking views of the Charleston Harbor, the Intracoastal Waterway, and the Ravenel Bridge, and just the marsh itself. It was originally built in the 19th century, and it connected the Old Village to Sullivan's Island up until 1927. So the original bridge had a wooden structure with a drawbridge section that allowed the boats to pass through. But a fun fact is in 1864, the crew of the H.L. Hunley crossed the footbridge on the way to Breach Inlet to test drive it before heading out into the harbor at Breach Inlet, which that is actually where Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms connect. Today, the remnants of the old wooden pilings can still be seen, which just honestly adds to its history. But after the Ben Sawyer Bridge was built in 1945, the Pitt Street Bridge was really no longer needed for vehicular traffic and eventually just fell into disrepair. But in the 1950s, it was converted into this pedestrian walkway and fishing pier, and is just a very big recreational area for the community and is an amazing spot for going walking, jogging, bird watching, crabbing, fishing, and even just taking pictures. And as you stroll through the sidewalk-lined streets in the Old Village, you'll see so many centuries-old oak trees and beautiful blooming crepe myrtles. The overall vibe here is a very quaint small town feel, and there's just so many different architectural styles of homes here. So you'll see quite the mix of stunning modern custom homes with large windows and sleek finishes, while also a little blend of colonial, Georgian, and Greek Revival style homes that have decorative shutters, columns, and just quaint southern porches. And while not every home has waterfront views, residents of the Old Village do have waterfront access through several different paths that are throughout the neighborhood. And if you are an investor, listen up, because the Old Village is a prime spot for investing opportunities. Some homes are renovated and others demolished to replace them with modern custom homes. With it being such a highly sought after area, the investment potential here is significant. You can also find one of the oldest surviving structures in Mount Pleasant, which is the Hibben House. It was built around 1755 and was used by the British troops during the Revolutionary War, and General Moultrie was actually held captive here with other patriots, and after the fall of Charleston in 1780, the British Army used it as their headquarters. Also here in the Old Village, they do have tennis courts along with another park called the James B. Edwards Passive Park. And next to this park is a very charming historic post office that dates all the way back to the late 19th century. It was originally constructed to serve the community as a central mail distribution point. You can also find Alhambra Hall, which is a historic venue that was built in 1849. It was originally constructed as a meeting and social hall, and today it's a stunning event space on the waterfront with a really gorgeous green space that overlooks the harbor. And for my fellow book lovers, we have the Old Village Library, which just recently celebrated its 75th year anniversary. This was actually the original Mount Pleasant library before the brand new one opened up, and this branch became at risk of closure, but luckily it was saved by a successful petition that was put together by its patrons, which led to its renovation and expanded hours. And if you've seen Outer Banks, and you have seen the downtown historic district of the Old Village. The street is lined with local businesses, just like their 24-hour gym. You'll also find the Post House Inn, which is a charming, cozy coastal 7-room inn. So not only can you book a stay here, but you can also enjoy a variety of dishes made from fresh local ingredients in their restaurant that's on the bottom floor. You can also check out the other local businesses like the Salon and the Pitt Street Pharmacy, where you can actually grab food from their vintage soda fountain or pick up your prescription. You can also check out their local boutiques here as well. They do have a cafe and a bakery, which has an amazing sitting area if you're wanting just a cup of coffee. The historic charm of this entire area just contributes to its quaint small town feel in the Old Village as a whole. But that is going to wrap up the Old Village. I really hope this video helped you get a really good idea of the Old Village and the vibe and just the history overall and everything it has to offer. If you did enjoy this video and it helped you out, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. If you have any questions about moving to Charleston or Charleston real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am more than happy to help you out. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!